Okay. All right, we're officially recording. Again, this is Alaska Food Hub 2020 vendor training and information session. So real quick before we get started, we do have a lot to go over today. I wanted to give everyone a chance to introduce themselves and let us know if you've used the Food Hub before, if you're just getting information, and what sort of products you are going to sell. So I'm going to just start in the top here with Barbara. Oh, and also let us know where you're from. So
Good afternoon. I'm from Nikiski, and the products I have is I have a peony farm. And no, I've never done this, so I'm just I'm here to get information today, and I'll probably listen to the video several times just to get lots of information.
It's all perfect.
awesome. So Miss Satchel, see you next on the list.
Hey everyone, my name's Satchel and I work for Inlet Keeper with Robbie, and I help manage the Homer Food Hub drop off and pick up site, and I've used it many times myself.
She's a employee and a member, just like myself. So I forgot to introduce myself. For folks that don't know me, I'm Robbie. I'm the local foods director at Cook Inlet Keeper, and I also run the Homer Farmers Market. Kyra, you're next.
I am Kyra Wagner, and I'm just here mostly to give moral support and introduce myself to everybody, so that as the season wears on, if you're using the Food Hub and you have questions, I work with Homer Soil and Water. You can always come and ask me how to try and work through some of the more puzzling aspects if you get stuck on anything.
Thanks, Kyra. Debbie.
Hi. Well, I'm Debbie Arnold, and I represent my husband as well, Mike Arnold. And we're Arnold Family Farm in Sterling. And this will be the third year for us to use the Food Hub. And we sell vegetables, some fruits, and sometimes plants.
Awesome. Thanks, Debbie. All right, Miss Caitlin.
Hi, I'm working for Inlet Keeper up in Soldotna out of the Community Action Studio, and I've helped operate the Food Hub for the last couple of years and look forward to doing it again. And I'm a very happy customer of the Food Hub.
Awesome. Bridget.
Hello, Bridget Marriott. I work with Robbie, Satchel, and Caitlin at Cook Inlet Keeper. I help out where I can. I buy a lot, and I have oysters. I'm my favorite item on the Food Hub.
All right, Bill.
I'm Bill Howell. I run Crafted on the Kenai with my wife, and this will be our third year of selling pickled onions, pickled garlic, and fermented hot sauces on the Food Hub.
I want to give a plug to Bill and Elaine. Their pickled garlic is amazing. If you like Bloody Marys, they're a great addition, plus many other uses. But
I'm glad you like them, Rob.
Michael.
Hey there, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Michael McGuire with K-Bay Cafe, and I am a first-time vendor. I'm super excited and grateful for this opportunity to reach out to folks around the peninsula and share our coffee with people. It's an awesome program, so I'm really excited to be a part of it.
Yay, we're happy to have you this year too. Let's see, Tracy.
I'm Tracy Veal. I am Wilderness Greenhouse, which primarily has been tomatoes, although we're starting to transition over to more veggies and a lot more berries, hopefully this year, blackberries and blueberries mostly. So I've done the Food Hubs several years off and on. So yeah, we'll see what the season holds, but I'm looking forward to it this year.
Awesome, thanks Tracy. Sarah.
Hi there, I'm Sarah. I'm up here in Matsu Valley, seeing this come across. This seemed to be something work for us in our new company from last year. We have a dog treat business and just getting some information to see if that would work out with you guys.
Awesome. Nancy.
Hello, I'm Nancy Henning, and basically just want to get more information.
Awesome. Nancy, where are you located?
Soldotna.
Soldotna, gotcha. Lou.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Lou Height and Steve Dahl. Steve's sitting behind me.
Can barely hear you, Miss Lou.
Okay, is this better?
A little bit closer.
Is this better?
Oh yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay. We are Eagle Glade Farm in the Kenai and Kiski area. Been involved since the Food Hub was started. We sell garlic and cabbages and potatoes and other good hearty stick to your middle foods. We're in the process of building a larger high tunnel so that we can actually grow high tunnel-y things.
Nice.
You know what we've got. Greens, lettuce, garlic, lots of garlic. I'm trying to grow a bigger onion this year.
You say onions?
The garlics are in the ground. They'll be up in about a week. As soon as we get the snow melted off. And I expect by mid-July we will have garlic for sale.
That's awesome. And I want to brag on Lou and Steve. They were pretty vital in our first few years up in Soldotna. They volunteered to run our pickup site, which was an incredible gift to the Food Hub. So just another thank you to those guys. Let's see, Annette. Annette? Oh, there you go.
How do I do this?
We can hear you now, Annette.
Oh, good. Can you see me?
No, but
No?
we can hear you.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I run the Soldotna Wednesday Market, and I sell flower baskets, and I have a wholesale cookie business that I run also, a bakery. I just recently took over the Kenai Saturday Market this year. I sell my brother's produce down here. I go up to the valley, pick up his produce and bring it down. And I grab from a couple other farmers up there too when I go. And my sister-in-law, my brother and my sister-in-law, which my brother is Arthur Keys and my sister-in-law is Michelle Vanderwill. So
powerhouse.
Yeah. And so, yeah. What else, Robbie?
Oh, that's perfect. Thanks, Annette. And you're, yeah, Soldotna, got it. Okay. Christina Castellanos.
Hi. Hi, I'm Christina from Smoky Hollow Farm in Homer, Alaska. I've been selling with the Food Hub for since the beginning, so I don't know if that's 3 or 4 years. And I sell produce and garden starts mostly.
And rabbit fur crafts.
And a little bit of rabbit hair Angora hair scrunchies, yes.
Thank you.
Thank
And say hello to your cat for us. You and Tracy both brought your cat.
Lupin.
And then Christina Land.
Land?
Land. Christina Land. It's someone else on the call.
Oh.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm trying to get the video, but I can't find it. Oh, well. Christina Land representing, and myself and my husband, Joshua Land with Grace Acres Farm out of Kasilof, Alaska. We mostly do the Saturday and Tuesday markets and then have a roadside down in Kasilof. First time doing Food Hub.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, everybody. So we have this is a really big group. I didn't expect this many people to come, but I'm glad you guys are all here. So Satchel is going to help us take notes and kind of monitor the chat box for us so I can do our presentation. So the first part, we're just going to review the first 4 years of our operations just to kind of give you an idea of how the Food Hub has been working, knowing going into these new unknown times, we're hoping to see pretty large bump in our sales since a lot of folks are turning to online and low touch grocery shopping. And then the second half, I will review how to get set up as a vendor. We'll take a look at some of the resources to help you get signed up, and also take a look. I'll show you where all your training videos with the software are. So let's see if I can figure out. Okay, are y'all able to see that? Satchel, can you see this? Okay, cool. Sorry, my little box went away. There we go. Okay, welcome again to the Food Hub training. Let's see, how do I get this to go? There we go. So we're just gonna jump right in. Originally, this project was started with a USDA grant. It's a local food promotion grant. So Cook Inlet Keeper took on this grant in order to create a food hub for the lower Kenai Peninsula. And we soon expanded to Soldotna the very first year of launching, because we met some folks up at a food hub training in Anchorage, of all places. So we met Steve and Lou and talked with Heidi, and we figured out a way to include Soldotna in our plans. And then over the last few years, we've added Nilchik. We had a 2-year trial in Anchorage, and then we've also been serving Soldovia. This is a big, long timeline. I just threw it in here. I'm not going to go over it. Everyone will get a copy of this presentation so you can read about it on your own. It just kind of outlines how we got set up and then our start dates throughout the last few years. Here is a video. I'm going to attempt to play it. I don't know if hopefully you'll be able to hear my sound. So this is a promotional video we use to help explain what a food hub is. We've had it playing in different places around the peninsula. We have it in our Homer Theater, but it's just a really good informative tool for the public who are like, what the heck is a food hub? Let's see if it'll play.
The Alaska Food Hub is your online local foods connection, featuring 100% locally grown and harvested produce, seafood, and much more. The Food Hub is like a virtual farmer's market, and the process is both simple and easy. Each week, producers list items for sale on the online marketplace. Product availability changes weekly and with the season. Once the ordering cycle is open, simply log on to the online marketplace and place items you'd like to buy in your cart. A confirmation email lets you know when and where to pick up your items. Return anytime during the ordering cycle to add more items. Producers deliver all ordered products to a central location where items are sorted and inspected for quality. Customers then pick up their orders and the cycle begins again. The Alaska Food Hub. We make local easy.
So this video is on YouTube, and if you decide you're going to use the Food Hub, it's a great tool to help spread the word through your own social media or newsletters, whatever you're using. So feel free to spread it around. This kind of outlines some of the reasons why we started a food hub. Alaska imports over 95% of its food, and that's almost $2 billion worth of money going outside of our state. So anything we can do to support local economies through the food system is a good thing. All the money stays within the community and gets recycled back around. Also for this year, a great benefit is that it allows for greater social distancing. So people can order online. We have a updated aggregation structure and pickup day that's going to allow for very little contact between the vendors, our staff, and the customers. These are just some of our awesome community partners. A super big shout out to Homer and Kenai Soil and Water Conservation Districts. They've been with us through the start, helping us build this, educating farmers, educating the public about it. We've had a lot of support from other folks like Smoky Bay Air. They provide free transportation of orders over to Seldovia every week. And not on here, but should be, oh yeah, it is on here. Two Sisters Bakery, they are providing us with the free aggregation site this year and last year. So it's truly has taken a village to do this food hub. Our primary users have been farmers and shellfish growers. We've had a few crafters who have used this platform, and it has not been super great for those type of products because a lot of those people want to see in person or feel or know exactly what they're getting. We've had pretty good success with value-added products like cottage foods. We've seen from last year to this year, we've seen about a 55% jump in sales. So things like Bill's Amazing Garlic, and we've had some kelp salsas, things like that have been pretty successful. As far as the customer side goes, we've had almost all of our sales are to individual buyers, but also to small businesses like bed and breakfast. And we had a general store here in Homer that ordered from us. We have not been very successful in the wholesale restaurant, hospital type places. Mainly we lack the capacity for that, but also our farmers have pre-existing relationships that they've been nurturing for more than a decade in some cases. So they, not saying it's good or bad, that's just the situation we're in. So here's a few photos of our food hub in action. Up in the right corner, this is our Soldotna Inlet Keeper Community Studio where they operate our aggregation day. And I'll just tell you, and I know Satchel and Caitlin can probably attest, just whenever we see the farmers coming in and the green just growing all around the room is pretty amazing, and the smell is even better. So that's what an aggregation day might look like. Going to talk a little bit about how folks access the food hub. So this is our main website, alaskafoodhub.org, and this shop the marketplace that's circled in big yellow, that takes folks to our online platform. The other thing that it's kind of hard to see up in the top corner here, become a vendor. That has all of their checklists for signing up. So it has training materials, our policy manual, our payment for membership payment, all of that under become a vendor. And the one change this year, we've moved entirely online to applications and payments. So we take out that touch, any touching checks, papers, that's just removed in following COVID-19 guidelines. Let's see. Okay, so once you click on this shop the marketplace, it takes you to our online marketplace. So this is a separate software vendor called Local Food Marketplace. They manage our whole sales platform for us. So the front page here has all of our dates, where you're going to pick up. It has our cute little video on there too, so you can click around in here. But to sign up, you would just go to the sign up button up here at the top. You can also click this login here button, and that takes you to your account where you can shop and update your orders or your credit card information. This product list up here at the top is essentially what's for sale for the week. This meet your producers, this is what it looks like. So every producer has what we're calling a virtual stall. So when you click on the picture of the producers, it takes you to a more in-depth descriptive of their businesses. What practices do they use? How do you get in touch with them? Where are they located? So this is all information that is inputted by you as a seller on the marketplace. The only thing you can't input is your pictures, so those have to be sent directly to me because they have to be cropped and all that. But everything else is totally controlled by you, and at any point you can change those pictures as well. If you decide you get a new glamour shot that you want to use. So this is what the product list looks like. So once the ordering cycle is open, that message up there changes to ordering is open until Monday at 10 p.m. You can search by the producer. You can search for specific products. You can change your location. So if you're a customer that moves around a lot and you're between Homer and Soldotna, you can order from Homer one week and Soldotna the next, or even Seldovia the next week. So that's all customizable. So once a customer orders, they get this order confirmation, and it shows what products they ordered, how much is due, and if there were any discounts. It lists the producer so they know exactly what they're getting from who. So that's super important to us, is to be able to trace products back to their origin. So that increases our traceability and safety. So the day before, early morning, the day of the pickup, the customer also will get a reminder. So, as many reminders as possible for me. I know I live by my calendar, so these reminders really help folks. Oh yeah, I bought something on the Food Hub. And it also reminds them where to pick up. So this year, what we will be adding to this reminder is a phone number. So when customers arrive and let us know they're out in the parking lot or at the curb, we'll be able to bring their orders out to them instead of having them come in and possibly touch things or infect things. We're just trying to be super careful this year. So that'll be the one addition there. So our ordering cycle begins on Fridays at noon. So every Friday we send out a newsletter that says ordering's open, and we usually have a recipe, a local food story. If we have a special, like a new vendor that has an awesome product, we'll feature that there. But the main point of that email is just to remind people, hey, the Food Hub is open. So we also schedule that across our social media platforms so people are reminded about the Food Hub. And then we also schedule things every single day that ordering period is open. Just again, just reminding people, hey, we're here, order from us. So that ordering period is open until Monday at 10 p.m. So right at 10 p.m., when ordering closes, you will receive what's called a pick ticket, and that lists out every product that you sold for the week. So that's what you're gonna need to gather and get ready for our Wednesday aggregation day. So your pick tickets, there's a summary version, but there's also a version that lists out customer names. So within your own settings, you can figure out which one is the most useful for you. And we'll get into that a little bit later. So on Wednesday, This year, we're going to have our delivery, product delivery open at 10:30 and go until 1. We expanded it just a little bit because we think we're going to have more orders than we've ever had, just given the way other food hubs around the state have gone. I talked to the one down in the southeast, and he said that their orders have already tripled and they have hardly any produce. So outlook is good for online sales this summer. In Soldotna, we extended that by 30 minutes. So the drop off will be from 2 to 4 p.m. And then Homer, the customers pick up between 3 and 6, and then in Soldotna between 4 and 7. For Seldovia folks, we try and get their products on the 2 p.m. flight, and then Smoky Bay usually calls them for us and lets them know they have a delivery to pick up. So that's generally how the ordering cycle goes. These are just some lovely photos of our farmers. Our first year, we got to do glamour shots with all of our participating farmers. So we have a pretty big stock of beautiful farm photography that we use in our promotions, our newsletters, things like that. I'm gonna get into some stats now. Who likes stats and data? I tried to pare it down a little bit, but this is just kind of an overview of our first 4 years of operating. By the end of our last season, we had almost 1,400 people sign up to use the Food Hub, and about half of those were in Homer. So you'll see Anchorage in there as well. We don't operate in Anchorage anymore, but they made up a little portion of that. That being said, not everyone that signs up places an order. So we have about 820 people that have signed up, or 60% that have never placed an order. So we've been working on trying to translate these signups into actual orders. So we've used strategies like mailers, we've done discount codes. So between last year and this year, we turned that 21% into 35% of people that are ordering. So we are improving on that. We're always looking for ways to continue to improve that, though. We do sliding scale memberships now. So we started out with a flat $20 membership for all customers, but we wanted to remove the barrier. Some people saw that membership as a barrier. So this seed membership really should say $1. Going to correct this after that. But so a lot of people actually ended up just doing the $20 membership anyway. And our membership levels have pretty much stayed in the same range. So we're going to stick with the sliding scale moving forward. We think it's a good model and creates a little bit more accessibility. Our vendor participation. So we've first started with 27 and we're down to 18 now. So several of those 27 were crafters who just didn't find this model worked well for their business. And then in Soldotna, we have 5 solid farmers that have been participating, many for all 5 years. So we hope to increase our vendor participation with some of you guys on the call now. So hopefully that number will go up. This has predominantly been used for agricultural products, but we also have seen success, like I mentioned earlier, with prepared food and seafood as well. This is just a breakdown, told you lots of data. This is a breakdown of our product type. So again, our produce has seen the most, more than 50% of our sales is produce, followed by meats and seafood, and then flowers, plants, and starts. Another breakdown, I will send this all to you guys and you can look through it yourself. So last year we did just over, with tax, about almost $48,000 in sales between Homer, and Soldotna. Over the last few years, 30% of our sales have come out of Soldotna, and Homer has accounted for 70%. And this outlines our growth per location. So we have seen between beginning and our last year in Homer, 35% growth, but in Soldotna, that has been 194% growth. So Soldotna has a ton of potential there for sales. As we can see, it's grown quite a bit. And over the last 4 years, we've done over $164,000 in local food sales. All that money stays within our community. On these, I just wanted to provide you guys with some top selling items for both unit and revenue. So we've sold the most greens by revenue and by units, which is pretty amazing. Chicken's high up there too. So you'll have this list. I can also send you a more detailed list of our sales from over the past few years, what have been the really big sellers. Another graph just outlining how we've looked over the past few years. This red line is 2019. Our weekly sales averages have maintained, we've grown actually in Homer and Soldotna for the number of orders, and have remained around $39 to $40 average order per week. So that's pretty good. So revenue sources, as I mentioned, we were grant funded for the first 2 years, and we are always looking for more sources of support. We also rely on volunteers and other organizations support, like soil and water districts have, again, been super supportive in all of this. We have a membership fees for both producers and customers, and then we also mark up our products 18 to 25%. So this helps cover our software, our staff, our transportation. We are not breaking even yet, but that is okay. All of these things help us get closer to breaking even. So that markup on the products, the producer, as a producer, you set your own price. So whatever you want to be paid is what you get paid. So the customer only sees the final price. So they will, our software automatically marks things up. So again, I mentioned there's some costs. We have insurance, advertising, our staff time. So Caitlin, Satchel, sometimes Bridget and myself, our driver, bookkeeping, insurance, printing, all the things, as you know, as business owners, all the costs that go into running this. So last year, the last 2 years, we've made close to $15,000 to cover some of our program costs, and we've seen a 59% growth between the first year and our last year, and I expect us to grow even more given our predicament this summer. One thing that we find really valuable, we do assessments every year. So we send out surveys to our customers and to our vendors to see what's working and see what we could get improvement on. Our customers like that it's a really quick, easy way to support local. They can buy from several different vendors with one credit card purchase. So your cards are stored online, and then we just ring up their order for all the different vendors in one payment. Folks like the customer service and find the software easy to work with once they get the hang of it. And then this avoid busy stores and markets will be an important one for us this summer. So things that we could improve on. People are asking for more quantities and more varieties. So things like Tracy, you mentioned berries. I think you're going to sell out every week with those. They want what they might find at a farmer's market. Some people have complained about the prices because they're comparing what they might find at Safeway or at a farmer's market. We do have that percentage built in. What we do is encourage our producers to think of this more of as wholesale pricing, since you're not sitting at a market and piecemeal selling. You're dropping all your stuff off in one place, and it's a lot less time investment. That being said, you can price your products however you want. The other thing that we've heard back is that some of the descriptions and quantities have been ambiguous. So we strongly encourage all of our farmers to use specific weights or numbers. So instead of saying a bunch of carrots, you could say 1 pound of carrots or 13 large carrots. So just being as descriptive as possible is super helpful to our customers. Let's see. Okay, so these are some of the benefits that we've outlined for our vendors. So your vendors aren't paying a credit card fee. We pay that out of our markup. So, but that 18 to 25% markup comes, the credit card fees, processing fees come right out of that. We collect sales tax and pay it on behalf of you. There's lots of great reporting and tracking tools. The overhead, as I mentioned, is pretty low and less time commitment. All your sales are guaranteed. And then one of the most important ones, the low to no touch social interaction this year. So we're going to pride ourselves in that. So here's some feedback. What's working? Most folks appreciate our staff support. Most vendors, while we recognize there is a learning curve to this, once you get the hang of it, once you get set up, the software has become easier. And I will say our software provider, Local Food Marketplace, has some really great tools, videos to watch, a readable manual. So they recognize people learn different ways. So there's a lot of different tools to help you get set up. And that being said, Kyra and I are always happy to walk you through, and folks up in the Kenai Soldotna area, Heidi Che is also versed in Food Hub language. So we're all here to help. So what need improvement? So again, the software has been kind of a sticking point for some folks. Some of the feedback we've gotten is the markup on our products feels like we're taking money from the producers, which producers set their price for whatever they want, and that's exactly what they get paid. We would like more customers to use the Food Hub. And then the quality control and product consistency has been an issue as well. Some of our successes, we've seen an increase in sales every year. We've worked with both the DEC and the Muni to get a cottage food variant. So these cottage foods, if you're not familiar, they're products that you can make at home that have a low risk of carrying foodborne illness. So things like jam, like the sugar content reduces the bacteria growth, or like Bill's pickles, the acidity in it makes things safer. So we worked with the DEC and Muni in Anchorage for a variance that allowed us to sell online, cottage food online. This is the first time ever in the state of Alaska that happened. So there's the other Food Hub down south is using this variance, and it's been pretty successful. So we've had several educational opportunities, so conferences. We had a book club for a little while. let's see, transportation. So right now we are providing transportation to Seldovia via Smoky Bay Air's donation, and we are also transporting Homer products through to Ninilchik and also to Soldotna. There's no backhaul at this point, though. We've had lots of great collaborations, as I mentioned earlier. So this is a little bit more about our cottage foods sales trial. This the important part. Between 2018 and 2019, we've seen a 55% increase in the amount of cottage foods being sold online safely and with no issues so far. So that's a big success. Our challenges, as I mentioned, is our restaurant and institutional purchasing. So we just, as a nonprofit that are not exactly covering all the costs, we just don't have the capacity to work on that at this point. So depending on how the food hub goes and what happens in the future, there might be possibilities for better attention in that area. And then our quality control, as I mentioned earlier, we just need folks to be more consistent in their descriptions of their products. So looking forward, as I mentioned, this was formed as a 2-year trial for Cook Inlet Keeper, and we are now in our 5th year. So eventually this will leave Cook Inlet Keeper's nest and fly and fledge into something else. So that's not to say Inlet Keeper will not be involved or not be supportive in some ways. It just, the relationships need to change. So for this year though, Inlet Keeper's all in, but just wanted to throw this out for folks to be thinking about through the season, what some options for keeping the food hub going, but keeping it producer driven, making sure we're meeting those needs and meeting community needs, and what other possible organizational setups there might be. So I'm going to take a big gulp of water and see, Satchel, are there any questions for this first half of our training?
Louise asked about she asked if we're considering backhauling Soldotna products to Homer, and just expanding a little bit on where we're at with that.
No, we are not considering that right now because we just don't have the capacity, and just the way the aggregation lines up, it's not going to work for us. So whoever takes over the food hub in the future can certainly explore that. The other thing is Homer provides 92% of what's sold on the food hub. So we have a good bit of diversity here. So one thing we did do with Bill last year, we were able to have some of his shelf stable products in Homer. So we had a stash of those. So we were able to have Soldotna products that way. The other option is for Soldotna vendors to get together and organize their own transportation down to Homer. So that's always an option as well. Just don't have the capacity to do it given our funding and our staffing. Any other questions? Okay, well, I'm gonna.
Sorry, Robbie. Louise just is following up and questioning whether Soldotna sales would increase if they had access to the Homer market.
They could. I also think that there's quite a few buyers in Soldotna too that could support that increase of sales. The reason we started hauling Homer stuff to Soldotna is that there just wasn't a big quantity or diversity. So we wanted to help build that market by supplying produce from Homer. And that was the reasoning behind that. Okay, are you guys ready for the vendor training 101? Can we get a, you ready? Okay, Michael's ready, Bridget's ready, Satchel? All right, so this is our vendor 101 training. I'm gonna walk you through our application process, our paperwork and signing up. I'm gonna show you the Food Hub website and sales platform. We're gonna review the delivery days, and then I will highlight the policy that has changed between last year and this year. So a lot of the sales platform, once you get signed up, you're going to be watching their own videos. So we used to walk everyone through these videos, and then by the time you'd go and get set your products and your account up, all that information would be gone and you'd have to watch the videos anyway. So you'll watch the video, you'll try and do what they say, and know that you can't screw anything up that bad where we can't fix it. So I'm gonna jump into our application and paperwork. So this is all on our website. It's under vendor checklist, but I'm just gonna review it real quick with you. There is a policy and agreement manual. So this outlines all of expectations as a producer, but also what you can expect from the Food Hub and from customers. So that must be read in full and understood. So folks that are returning, I strongly advise you to reread it. I've tried to put any major changes in red or in blue so you can find them easier. Our 2020 application and agreement form is now online. So it's a simple Google form, and it sends you a copy of it so you have that for your files. Again, we're just trying to move away from any sort of social contact that's direct. So not having to handle a bunch of paperwork is helpful. It's also, since we're an online marketplace, we thought we should just shift it all online. The membership fee of $40 per year, you can pay that online as well. It will all go through Cook Inlet Keeper, so just be aware of that. And then if you are selling any sort of cottage foods or meat products, things like that, you'll just need to be aware of what those food safety requirements and any permits you might need. So that won't apply to most of our vendors though. So next steps, if you're selling any sort of cottage food, prepared food, I'll need a food handler's card. And if you have any permitting, insurance, that kind of thing, you'll just email me copies of those. We also need a W-9 form. We have those linked on our website. So if you have been a vendor before and nothing has changed, you just, on your application, there's a box to click. Nothing's changed. It's the same. You don't need this from me, Robbie. So then the next step, I'll need your 2 photos for your online profile. Again, those are going to be cropped in a square. So keep that in mind when you send me, like if you send me a big long landscape, it's going to get chopped up. So, and then if you have any sort of certifications like organic or naturally grown, you can send those all to me as well. Then the next step is to set up your virtual booth, so your virtual farmers market stall. So you have to sign up on our marketplace, which I'll show you in a minute. And I want to just say all of this, I have a very quick getting started guide that I can send you all as well. So you'll have all this material. I know I'm just giving you a lot right now, but it's all pretty simple once you get rolling with it. So you'll sign up for an Alaska Food Hub online marketplace account. And then once you do that, just email me and tell me that you've done this. And then I convert that account into a vendor account. So once I do that, you will get an email, and I'll give you a getting started guide, and then you can start your training process. So once you sign in, you'll review all the training manuals. There's videos and a paper guide, so whichever one you work better with. You'll try out what you're seeing on the video, so you'll set up your profile, you'll add products, and then just see how it looks. See if you got it right. If you didn't get it wrong and you can't figure out what happened, just give me a call or give Kyra a call, or just try it again. Most people will screw up on this, but they'll quickly figure out what they did wrong, and we're always happy to look at it for you. Let's see. So again, we've showed you how to access the marketplace. This become a vendor. This has your producer checklist, your policy manual, and then any sort of education opportunities we list on that drop down as well. So to sign up, you'll click on Shop the Marketplace, and then you'll go to sign up here. So that's, it'll ask you for your email and your name and some other stuff. Once you do that, again, email me and I'll convert that into a producer account so you can start setting your account up. So the number one troubleshooting issue we get is I'm logging in, but I'm only seeing my customer account. So know that you'll have to scroll down to the bottom of this page and log in with the producer login. So up at the top, that's your customer login. Bottom is producer. Okay, so once you get inside your producer account, look for the question mark at the top right corner. Then go down to producer guide. This is where you'll find all your training videos. This is what it looks like. So you're getting started on the right-hand side, getting started, your login, your settings, and then managing orders and also adding products for sale. So these are all videos you're going to want to watch, and they're pretty short videos. So all in all, the setup should only take 1 to 2 hours. Unless you have a ton of products, it might take 3. But moving forward, after that initial setup, it's probably about 15 minutes a week updating your inventories. So you'll set up your producer profile, your name, your website. You can talk about your practices, a little story. So folks love a good story. They love to connect that way. And then once the Food Hub is up and running, you'll see here at the bottom of Twitter Creek, she has arugula and pak choy. That shows what's for sale during that period. So if someone clicks on your profile and they're like, oh man, I really like his story. I like that coffee looks good. Those pickles look good, whatever. They can click directly from that profile to add those products to their cart. Lots of arrows here. This is one thing that you will probably have a little bit of trouble with. So you're gonna wanna try and add products to your list of things you sell. So you can go ahead and save yourself some time right now and set up all of the products that you intend to sell for the year. You can always add products anytime, but we found that this is a really good way for producers to get a jump start on things when things are a little bit slower. I know farming's never really that slow, but this would be a good time on a rainy day to set up your products. So all of the videos, again, show you step by step how to do this. This is what it'll look like once you set up your products. You have a main product name. It says what vendor sells it, and then you get a little tagline. So we take a look at Greens Bok Choy, Luba's Garden. So they added in AKA bok choy, pak choy, all the ways that you can identify that vegetable. So other people have written like pasture perfected, first cut rhubarb. I've seen Steve and Lou list a product that they didn't have for sale yet, but they put in their tagline, will be available next week, which I thought was a pretty genius way to use this software, just to let people know what was coming. So they listed it, but they didn't have any inventory for it, but people knew, hey, next week this is gonna be around. So after you get all your products set up, you want to try and have everything set up by noon on Friday, because that's when the most people come in to buy. People will come back and check later. I know I check every day because it's my job. I also am a little obsessed with it. So you can add products anytime throughout that ordering cycle. You can reduce the number of items. So, oh man, my pak choy, I only got 10 pounds instead of 20. So you can go in and reduce that. Or, hey, ooh, I got 50 pounds of pak choy. So you can go back and update it there. But it's super important to get these things listed by the opening, if at all possible. So after the ordering period closes, you're gonna prepare for delivery day. So under reports, that's where you'll find your pick ticket. You also find a lot of other reports like labeling, sales reports, sales versus what you listed. So I just encourage everyone to poke around in there and see which tools you're gonna actually use. Again, that's all the list of different reports, and then right beside it is labels. So you can use those labels to label customer orders. Okay, this is what some of our labels look like. So it has people's name, where they're picking up from, who they ordered from, and what the item was. And so, like I said, there's a few different options on the labels that you can check out. Your pick list, this is an example of what a pick list would look like. So it breaks down exactly what was sold, the number, and then the amount you're gonna get paid. So folks that are sending items up to Ninilchik, Seldovia, or no, to Soldotna, you're going to have two different pick lists. So keep that in mind. So I'm going to review what a delivery day, which is on Wednesdays, are going to look like this year. So every customer is going to have a designated container. So whether that's a paper bag, or we're probably going to use paper bags or compostable bags this year. We have used bins in the past and asked people to bring their own bags, but moving forward in this social distancing, eliminating touch time, we're gonna move to everyone gets a bag. So we'll have that all set up when you show up. When you show up, we will have you deliver your items outside. So we're not wanting anyone to come into the aggregation site. So what we'll have is a table with some cleaning materials outside, so we will be able to wipe down all of the bins before they enter the aggregation site. So bins will all need to be labeled, hey, this is Homer, this is Soldotna, this is Seldovia, so it'll make it really easy for us to aggregate. So the food hub will wipe those down, then we'll bring them inside. We will aggregate them as quickly and accurately as possible while you wait, and then we will let you know, hey, everything's delivered, you look good, or hey, oh, you're missing 3 pak choys, can you go, do you have any on you? So this just helps us make sure everybody's getting what they ordered. So that's what the your side of things will look like. This will be able to eliminate touches. It'll allow us to keep a safe social distance. We also aren't allowing customers inside this year. So again, we're just going to have them call and we'll be able to run their orders outside to them or leave them outside for a later pickup. This being said, we know that mandates and processes are changing weekly. So we do reserve the right to change this up. For example, in Homer, we're using sister ship by 2 sisters. But if we more than double our orders, we're going to move somewhere else that'll give us the space to operate. So we will notify you guys as soon as possible if anything changes, but we just need to recognize these are kind of uncertain times. So these are our policy changes between last year and this year. We added an extra 30 minutes for our Homer drop-off time and also an extra 30 for our Soldotna times. We're gonna move to paying you out monthly. So instead of every 2 to 3 weeks, we're gonna pay you out monthly. We're gonna trial this. This is gonna reduce our costs and also the amount of time our bookkeeper has to come in to our office. So, and this may be a huge problem for people. I don't know what it is. If you would like to be paid more than monthly, let me know, but this is what the plan we came up with to reduce our costs. Also mean you get a bigger fat check at the end of the month, so that's kind of nice too. So for our producers that have bigger orders, it's going to be helpful if you group customers' products together for quicker aggregation. This isn't required yet, but we may move to that should our capacity outgrow, our demand outgrow our capacity. And then just the delivery and aggregation procedures we talked about earlier. Those are our different, just tweaking them to meet these social distancing standards. If you're wondering what our next steps are, so you can sign up for an account on our software, you complete the application and membership fee, and then I'll set your account up and you can log in to start setting your own profile and your products up. And then these are our operating seasons, which we feel sure we're going to be able to open May 1st. So that would be our first ordering for Homer. And then Soldotna and Anilchik would follow May 14th. So that just gives us time to get back into the groove and shake out any loose ends or mistakes we may have made before we open in those other locations. And then Soldovia will open May 22nd. This is just a preview of the simplified getting started guide, which I will send you once we get your vendor profile set up. So that is the end of our presentation. We have about 20 minutes left that we can shake out questions. I can figure out how to do this. Hang on. Oops.
I have one.
Go ahead.
What if you participate in the Wednesday market here in Soldotna? How would you get your produce to the drop-off? I mean, is there, like, you have to drop it off early? So
I know Caitlin has worked with vendors that have needed to drop off early. What time does that Wednesday market start?
it starts at 11 and usually you're there by 10 o'clock to do setup.
Okay, so you would need to work something out with Caitlin. You might be able to drop stuff off early. You would just have to work with them individually or get someone to bring it later.
Maybe we could organize that and we could all just make one run over there. Is that possible, Robbie, or do we have to do it individually?
No, if it's all labeled by, so the important thing is that it needs to be labeled by producer, again, so we can source identify things. So if things are labeled in a really easy way that Caitlin understands it, and she can certainly work with you guys on that, that is definitely a possibility.
Because that's something I could market to my vendors as something we could participate in, and then just like one of us could run it over early in the morning or something, you know, I'll work with Caitlin on that or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that a possibility?
I know that Arnold Family Farms makes a quick run over at lunchtime, or I think maybe after the lunch hour rush when things are kind of slow at the market anyways. So I'm sure that we can figure something out.
That'd be awesome. Thanks, Caitlin. Yeah. Hey, beautiful.
I think Christina Land has her hand raised. And you're on mute.
That was an accident, sorry.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. Well, you learned how to raise your hand. That was good. Are there any other?
There was a question on that everybody should know about. Christina asked about Wix senior coupons, and since they're still in paper, there's no way to transfer those, so those can't be used on this online version.
Yeah, and SNAP can also not be used online because there are a few trials, and we did hear that they are trying to bring that trial to Alaska, but it would start with like Safeway and Walmart type places. Yeah, so right now you can't use SNAP for online purchases.
So when you were
Robbie,
talking,
oh,
sorry.
Go ahead, Bill.
this is Bill. Yeah. So when you were talking about the bins, that's something that we need to supply.
So for your products, you would, yeah. So if you bring them in a case, something we can wipe down, just so we'll have like a wipe or a bleach solution that will just give it a quick wipe. And we'll also be wearing gloves too.
Well, like I said, like you say, mine is all jars.
Yeah, we
stuff
can
like
wipe jars down for sure.
Okay, because I can get a bin. I just was wanting to make sure if I needed something else to pick one up.
Yeah, if you put all that in a bin, then we can wipe down the bin and carry it in easier. So, and this is all we're learning together and figuring out our best processes, right? So,
Okay, I got it. Thanks.
Tracy.
Robbie, have we talked to the people who were members but never purchased to see what the barrier might have been to just a survey?
Well, one barrier was the membership fee, which we took down, and we saw a bigger jump between the first 2 years of doing that. Yeah, I think we're in a much better position this year. Like I said, as people are looking for more online sales. And Christina, I'm reading your third party. We as the Food Hub have applied for SNAP F&C number, and they denied us. They said we can't do that. I asked them if we could use our farmers market EBT machine to run Food Hub SNAP purchases, and they denied that. So we have looked into it, but if you have more information you want to email me or call me with, I'm happy to look into it again. But we've looked at all these angles, and we just don't want to threaten the farmers market's ability to accept SNAP. So any other questions? And just know I'm going to send you all this information.
Debbie had a question about will last year's vendor information be saved on the website?
Yes, it has been saved. If you want to update it, you can log in and update it, but once you enter all your products, it stays there until you change it or delete it. So, well, if there's no more questions, I want
Robbie, I've got one.
Yes,
Actually,
ma'am.
I've got two questions.
You get
I went
one.
through the application. Okay.
I'm
One
just
at a time.
kidding.
I went through the application process the other night when I got your email. And when I got to the part where I pay, it goes to the Cook and Let Keeper page. And I just wanted to make sure that it says donate $40. Is that the button that I push to donate?
Yeah, Bridget, do you want to explain? Bridget set it up for us, so.
Okay.
Yeah, Christine, it's the same. It's just a non-customizable button. So right now, all of that money comes in through Cook and Let Keeper, and then it gets diverted to the Food Hub.
Okay. And I had difficulty on my phone. Like I put my credit card number in and everything, but I never saw a receipt of it or a confirmation. So I think I'm going to try it again from our desktop and see if it's just a phone thing. But so that was one thing I had. I'll let you know if it. Do you
Okay,
have
and
any?
I can check and email you afterwards as well.
Okay. If you see a sign of my payment, like let me know. But I don't think it went through. I checked my card, so I'll try to get.
I don't remember seeing it, but yeah, I will double check on it for you.
Okay. Thanks, Bridget. And then my second question, Robbie, was I saw in the new policies that you guys would prefer if a customer has multiple items to keep them together with that customer. Like, and I'm wondering if you have any ideas on how to package, because I don't know if t-shirt bags are allowed or if I should.
They are. T-shirts, bags are allowed this year. That the city of Homer pushed that ban back until we are able to do it safer with our own bags. So I've seen like the Dorvals, they'll put all of their items into a paper bag, or they will tie them together. Just even if you have them in your bin kind of set together, and then we can easily, like, as long, like if they're near each other, that even that will help speed up our aggregation.
Okie dokie. Thank you.
Yeah, and then one other thing, if you're selling starts, anyone selling starts, if you can bring them in a flat for us, it helps keep them together so they don't go flying everywhere. You know how delicate starts can be. So
I know you're looking forward to that. Okay.
no, my favorite. I love your Livingston daisies though, so I'll suffer for it.
Okay. They're started and coming. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, last call for questions, and you can always email me or call me. I'm happy to talk more details with you guys. Okay, well, I'm going to send everyone on this call a copy of the presentation and also a copy of the video. Well, I'll post the video so I don't have to clog up your inboxes, but you'll get the PDF of the presentation, and I will get that out to everybody hopefully tomorrow. And thanks for being here and trying the Food Hub with us, or continuing.
Thanks, Rob.
Have a good night, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
We'll see y'all later.